Welcome to Dungeon Next Door. Today, I hate all of you.
I didn't do anything.
I hate all of you. So recap, it's been a while, about a month almost.
Yeah.
Since it was like the beginning of November. The party, the 6 of Spades, -1, they decided to talk to the people that came back from the Furbog Nation of Yalkalai. They talked to them, tried to gather up information, and found out that one, Ronan is with them, Ronan Lakaga, the son of the Lakaga family. Let's see. After talking to them, they end up talking to Leroux, Matt Leroux, and found out that he is in cohesion, I guess you would say, with the older gods. He is talking about bringing back in the old gods and the old way of Vieski. Alright, so I think last time, after you guys talked to Mateus, Cuilorea was in dog form, you guys walked out and talked to Talon, saying that he needed, Bhel needed information about the history of Vieski, the tribes that he might be talking about, more information and history about the continent and the old gods. Alright? So, to help progress what's going on, you kind of gave him, I think, a day? So, you guys have dinner, eat with the rest of the camp, the tribe, and the next day comes up, and Tyrus Talon kind of comes up to you, and you can see that he's got bags in his eyes, and he just kind of hands you a couple pages, and he goes, "You owe me one. I had to do a lot of searching. I had to talk to a lot of people. I did not get a lot of sleep."
He owed him one though, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a favor. So
yes, but the way he's kind of looking at it, it was more. He kind of gives off the impression of this kind of was much more than like I feel like the favor is for. So he's just like, and kind of like looks at you and just walks off.
no, I'll be like, I'll help you.
And he just kind of goes, and he kind of like keeps walking.
I'm your boy. He's such a good guy.
No, I was eyeing you. I was like,
Oh. Okay.
Right.
Still oblivious.
So, on this paper, it has information to go in detail, the history. So, when it comes to the history, it talks about, it starts off with first how there used to be an old nation of Congarate. Congarate was a very prosperous nation, very tech advanced, and how they were very in tune with the crystals, and how there were crystals for each school of magic. With that, it then goes kind of back further a little bit more, talking about the tribes. So the Great Tribes were a mountainous tribe that was next to the...
I don't have this information either.
So it was a mountainous tribe.
I'm reading it over your shoulder. I'm reading. It said each crystal represents a type of magic.
yes, sir.
It-
Full of magic.
Each crystal represents a type of magic.
How many were there?
There are 9. Let me try to go more in depth about that. If I can find all my notes, because my notes are full of things, of ideas.
And 3 ancient tribes, you said?
Yes, 3 ancient tribes. God.
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
Alright, so, stones. It goes...
If you want a more visual, we could be sitting at one of the tables at the lunch place, and I'm just, as I read, I'm just passing it over. So we're just
Going around the table.
yeah, everyone's just kind of sharing all these, like, the stacks of notes. So it says, The blue stone is abjuration, dealing with protection and fortitude. You have conjuration, which is your green stone.
Is that the one we touched to get out of the...
Yes.
Making sense. There
Yeah,
we go.
conjuring up things, traveling, stuff like that. You have your white stone, which is kind of like an opal color. That does with divination and, future truth, your divination type spells. You have your pink stone, which is enchantment. If I'm going too fast for you guys, please.
I'm just scribbling. Do your thing.
All right. You have evocation, which is a red stone. Usually that stone is dealing with increasing energy, any type of force or energy is usually amplified in this form.
It's like the Windstorms.
What was the
Can I ask a
opal one?
question?
Yes.
Divination.
The crystals we found when we went on our mission, they were blue, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but no. They were like an aquamarine. So like a lighter blue.
Keep going.
Alright?
Come on,
Maybe
they're
he'll get to
crystals.
it. Maybe he'll get
They're
to that
crystals. This
crystal.
is sapphire.
So like the blue crystal is like a lapazuli like the very blue that everyone knows. Like when you think of blue in your mind, you think of like hardcore like blue.
What is
And
brand?
then-
Is there an aquamarine color? Is that one of the ones that's on the paper? I'll let you keep going.
Yes.
I was getting to that, but
Alright, so your illusion stone is a purple stone, ways to deceive people, get into people's minds and all that stuff. Your necromancy stone is a black stone, so like a very dark ebony stone. I cannot think of a stone that is
obsidian.
black. Yes, obsidian. That's I lost my brain. Alright. You have your transmutation stone, changing the properties of things. That is yellow. Alright. And then you have, you can see he has written down power crystals, which are aquamarine, a very light blue, kind of almost like Autumn's notebook, like a bluish seafoam green style color. In the notes it talks about how the common crystal, that stone is your common power stone. That stone, when you look at, he kind of shows you, well, not really shows you, but he kind of like explains how that stone is like a common stone. If used correctly, can power pretty much anything. It's pretty much a battery. It can charge up anything. It is used to just kind of amplify. It's your amplifier. The rest of the stones are whenever you add the amplifier stone next to other stone, it boosts the power of whatever you're doing. So whatever you're trying to work with. So if you're trying to work with raising the dead, and let's say on your own you can raise 3 using the necrotic, you can probably raise a little bit more, but using the amplifier can almost make an army. So adding the stones together creates a bigger mass thing.
Damn, I wish I was a necromancer right now.
So that is the whole thing. Yes, the stones by themselves are great, but all together could create
Life.
Yeah. So
or death.
didn't I
Peace or
use
chaos.
an amp on my armor? Is that what pretty much powered it to where I could do the?
You did use.
We did. Yes, we did.
Yeah, you
Do that.
used one of the stones to kind of amplify what you were doing, and using the stones, also adding. I think you added runes to it.
Yeah.
Kind of helped piece everything together and really be the glue for the whole thing. So that was something that you guys did do.
Yeah, reading through that is starting to make sense a lot.
I'm still carrying some, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are still alive.
Are these those?
Yep.
Those stone things that one guy talked about?
The dragon things?
Yeah, which one we got?
Yeah, which one do we have?
We have the power ones.
The amplifier.
For amps.
Stone.
Yeah.
So we don't have the actual things that do stuff. We just have the.
We have come across. I know we came across the green one.
And we've come across the blue one too, I think.
Wait, I didn't.
No.
When we were in the
What was the
storm, I
green
thought
one?
It was
The green one was the one we
I thought the
touched to
magical stone was
teleport
the blue
ourselves out
crystal?
of the dungeon.
So it's teleportation.
I can't.
Well, it's conjuration. So any of those conjuration spells, but teleportation is.
I'm also thinking
Part
that there
of
had to be a stone in the library too that got burned down. That would make sense.
Probably.
And
Oh,
we
no.
gave someone crystal, someone that asked, whoever sent us on that mission forever ago.
Those were aquamarine crystals.
Was it
though.
Jeb
No.
or was it the actual queen?
No, you gave
It
it,
was for
to
the
the
king.
lieutenant.
It was for the king. The king.
Was it the one in the one town?
The
Yeah,
bridge
it's-
town
Where-
where Bellwood
where
had
they-
connections.
Yeah, it was,
Everything caught on fire?
it was in No Unova. You gave it to the lieutenant. I can't think
For
of
the
his
professionals.
name right now. I think it was like Montezelli.
Mozzarella.
Magnui.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Montezelli.
I'm making chronos.
Hannah Montana.
Mr. Ernstein. Library's on fire.
Seems like that we came across a white one for some reason.
Oh, we met
we
met
came
Josiah
across the
too,
blue
or
one.
Josiah, whatever his name is.
Because I'm pretty sure the blue one was what the magical stone was.
Aquamarine blue
No.
cylindrical prism has infinite power.
Wait, yeah.
These are the crystals from my dream.
He gave you the answers a long time ago. She's like, you son of a bitch, I had it. Read it again.
Aquamarine blue cylindrical prism has infinite power. These are the crystals from my dream.
What other crystals
So
are in
those
your
were the
dream?
things that were powering the city you saw in your dream?
Yep.
That's what
This
it
is
is.
hilarious.
Yep.
This is the
I
connection.
share this with the table when that paper gets passed to me. I tell you guys, I was like, one of my the dream about the place that we need to go to has these stones, has these aquamarine infinite, and I tell you guys that.
Was that the town that we passed through? The one that Angus would have really liked that was all made of machines? Was there floaty discs in that town?
No.
That was just. There were warforged and gnomes, and it was like a little.
So that one was like
Oh, that was the Tinker.
A little
town?
base,
yeah,
right?
that was kind of a Tinker's Town. That was like a fort. That was like a military base. A lot of their stuff didn't really have. None of their stuff had to do with crystals.
But imagine.
But if they, if they had something and they had the power to research something like that,
Or
they
just
would really
putting
need
one of those amp crystals in one of those machines or weapons.
Did you also write down
no.
what he had said in his head that was in the old language? Was that part of what you were asking him? to
Oh
find
yeah,
out?
yeah.
Because I told you what he said. I don't remember if that was in the papers that you gave him to find
So
out.
I'm gonna turn this down.
I think it was in the papers.
Because I thought you were like, here, figure out what this means.
So if I hold one of those crystals and punch somebody, it would hurt a lot worse.
Do it. Let's see.
Oh god.
So I pull out a crystal.
I'm gonna take
This
the
is
crystal.
stupid.
I'm gonna hold it and be like,
Punch
ready?
me. Yes, I'm ready.
Alright. I'm gonna reel back.
This is for science.
And I'm gonna
Crystals.
punch Soter square in the chest with all my force.
Does she have to roll to hit?
Kills.
No, she doesn't have to roll a hit. So
You die.
That would
Insta
suck.
death.
you.
Insta death.
So what happens is you grab the crystal and you hold it in your hand, and for a small second you do feel like a brief sense of warmth coming from your hand, and when you punch him, you don't really feel like it is probably your strongest punch that you can do, but it doesn't really feel like it's amplified. But the longer you do hold that stone, the warmer your hand gets. It doesn't get like blazing hot, but it kind of seems like, if you actually give it time being in your hand and holding it, it might actually, give you the strength. Like you kind of feel like your veins kind of coursing, and you're like,
So did she knock me down? Or anything?
No, she gives you like a good punch because like she grabbed it and punched you. So you're like, so really strong. That's a good punch. Like that was probably your best punch. But like, the longer you're holding it, you're sitting there going like, that was a good punch. You were sitting there going, if I could punch him again, this might be like, if I give it a second, this could do some damage.
Can I see it?
Oh God!
I'll give it back. Keeping my hands warm.
I have another one.
And hand it to Niramour.
Okay.
Like, it really keeps your hands warm. These are good for winter.
If I
don't think you ever tell us what is the crystal color aquamarine these are.
Yes.
Yeah, so ones in your hands
These are the amps.
The aquamarine.
Look at
These are
the
the
color of my
amplified
notes.
crystals.
if I am holding this, do I feel that in my magic?
Make an Arcana check.
Does it make it louder?
Wow.
That could be dangerous. All of this could be.
I do not.
She's
know.
not connected to this specific crystal.
I don't. Do I have to look? Because I don't know how many I have. Like I had a decent amount of these crystals. I know.
I think I probably gave you guys like 5 to 7.
Well, my dad had told me that the magical storm was.
And did we
what
just
was
give one
affecting
away?
my magic, and that the storm was from.
No,
No, we
Yeah.
didn't. We didn't
You
give.
guys had much more, but you guys did give away.
We only gave away like 1 or 2. Like because you took it shattered into pieces or something like that, or the shard. Like you took it was this big crystal. You did the thing like did that.
Yeah,
Took
and
a
I
sliver
was
of it.
just like.
Took some, and the dragon came through, kind of like messed all the crystals up. So
Okay,
you
well.
took a bunch
Yeah.
more, and we only gave them like 2 or 3.
Yeah, so.
So I give a crystal to everyone. Like I give another one to you, and I give one to you.
And everyone has 1 crystal.
Everyone has. Oh, I got a bunch of crystals.
No.
Okay.
You can't remember, so I'm going to say you have 5 crystals.
Well, I said I had a lot of crystals. I wanted a number, and I think it's
5
more.
to 7.
I can.
There's your
Well,
number.
okay, we got 7.
5 to 700.
So there's- Yeah.
How big are these?
Because I was just
And I was
looking
thinking
at
like
crystals?
30 or 40 crystals. I picked up a lot of crystals.
But where's your
it.
notes,
6 random,
man?
6 random people with black robes appear. People take call leader. Tinker, this guy is talking
Where's
to
your
you.
diamonds, Mega Man?
Oh, I
The
got
guy
those.
says, "Be careful,
written
don't
down.
trust
Mega
people."
Man has diamonds.
Harvesting crystals. Back of the castle.
Harvesting. Is this? That's exactly.
So we're going to say you guys have 7 crystals.
Are they magical? Do
Well,
they have a
everybody-
That's 20.
Alright, cool. We have 20 crystals.
Yay.
Well,
This
I
is
got.
why we write down notes.
I gave everybody a crystal, so now I have 16.
Give me the smallest one.
Okay.
It's like a
Aw,
pebble.
Because you're tiny.
No, because I'm gonna put it in my orb and see if it.
Yeah, I'm
works.
actually
But I
trying
was
to
gonna
put
see
it
if I
in my
could infuse
hand,
it with,
like
my
my.
magic or something.
Your little
Make a
mouth
weapon
thing?
with it or a shield or something.
I have a hand that I may have used once.
I'm assuming that I did not notice any. I rolled a 4 total. I'm gonna assume I don't notice any sort of anything.
So everyone's holding a crystal in their hand.
Yes.
Wait, do I? No, you're good. You're good.
Alright,
Yeah.
so
I could see you putting yours on a necklace.
you. So what happens is you guys all start holding a crystal. Niramour, you don't really notice much because you're, you know what? Roll me a perception check.
Even better at those. 8.
I can roll perception
So
for her.
So for Niramour, you're kind of sitting there holding this crystal,
She's not
and
impressed.
you're just kind of sitting there like I don't get it, guys. But when she looks up at you guys, her eyes are glowing,
Wow.
whatever color you want to pick.
Purple.
Her eyes are glowing purple, like
I got
and,
chills.
like-
Do you see these?
and you can almost see like the little like you can start seeing like almost like the whispers kind of developing. You start seeing like
Put it down, bitch.
like you see what is her wings, her like aura. You can kind of see like them kind of
Are there people
sprouting.
around us?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's dope.
They are, but like
This is like
this is kind of like a
the Eternals armor.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not like her actual wings. You just kind of see like this like
Yeah.
mist
That's what-
of like
yeah.
so like if you don't really look at it, you can't see it. But like you guys are looking up, and you're like and you kind of just going, and for Imina, you just kind of feel, and you guys can see like you're kind of bulking up, like. So, you know, you're getting the fucking traps, delts, and all that. You're just fucking like, you know, it's not like a big, just
Those are
like
big,
Hulk
dude.
smash, but like it looks like the muscles are starting to become more defined. Like you seem more
Adora.
shaped.
Do me last. I have a reason. It's fine.
For Soter, I don't really know your like actual style. If you have like any type of like intricate
It goes,
Do you have that magic
of like
thing
things
and the
going
shield?
in.
The shield.
No, I don't even rock the shield. I would say.
See the little lightning
I'm
bolts just jumping across your wiring. Like, zzz.
I don't know. I don't know. It's
that's a good idea though.
So like for you, it's just kind of like you.
You're the same.
You-
You've been holding these the entire
You
time.
might
You're the
look
same.
the same unless.
I do.
Could he start? How does your mind work?
What do you mean?
Your brain.
Brain.
What's your
So I was
process?
gonna say, you know, like an old computer, how it has, it. Fuck, what's the word? Like when you.
I mean, it's inquisitive, but I don't know what you're.
No, like when memory
It's like upgrading
is
from a
not,
Windows.
It's not gone, but it's gone, and you can kind of bring it back.
Like
in
archived?
pieces.
Well, that's
No.
kind of where part of me was like, you see this empty spot.
What?
Like everything is just like
Yeah.
kind of like Iron Man, but not because there's nothing there. Nobody's really paid attention to the armor or my body, but you could tell something's missing right here. And as the runes are popping off and the electricity is going around it, it's like, what? Something's not there.
Yeah. So you guys, you would feel like a glow, almost like a glow.
Yes.
All right. For Cuilorea, for you, it seems like you feel so more connected to Earth. You kind of have this like, kind of this warm feeling coming onto you. You could almost see like snow, maybe like little snow flares, just kind of like whooshing around you, maybe around your head a little bit, and like you guys are really starting to feel like this amplification of
Avengers
power.
Unite.
What did you say?
And then
We're
for
Avengers.
Bhel, you said you were working on.
That's weird. That was just on the website. So I started like seeing these changes with them, and I started noticing something happen with me, and I'm like, it's gonna work. So I'm start messing my orb real quick, and there's a little compartment slot. Pop it in. I go darkness. I didn't mean for it to activate, but it's just so like overloaded that it just.
So you made a huge orb of black?
What's the
Radius?
radius for
30
regular
foot
dark?
normal.
Holy fuck.
60. It just so like you
So
do
The
whole
camp
camp.
is the camp enveloped in darkness?
so you do this
We're all
and
having a moment of.
you're like, oh man.
Are Niramour's
So-
eyes just glowing in this darkness?
So you know whenever like an ink cartridge busts,
Yeah.
it's like black ink just goes just out like a switch, just, and you see you just hear
Way
bang!
to bring attention to us. Right?
Like everyone just kind of starts like murmuring. You kind of hear like this kind of like what the hell's going on.
Are we glowing in this dark?
Please say no.
I mean, I could see us anyway.
No, because it's non-magical light can't get through
No, I'm not
darkness.
gonna get through it
Did-
unless it's over level 3.
Amina look bulkier when she was just holding it, or did it only happen when we were all holding the stones?
That's a good question.
With her holding the stone, it was kind of more of a progressive thing, but with everyone kind of holding the stones, it kind of seems like the power of people being connected to it, and you know, people who are close together being connected to it starts to amplify it.
Did I notice any sort of change, like, between, like, when I was holding it the first time and then, like, whenever we were all holding it?
Can you say that we just all had this natural subconscious feeling of that connection?
Yeah, and
For a moment.
that would be the thing. Like everyone just kind of has that like
Is that
connection
movie
of, like,
moment?
Oh, yeah, that one where, like, all the wind's, like, gently blowing everyone's hair and we're just like, oh, we're superheroes.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's cool.
Very rocket moment.
let me do something.
Yeah, like the Guardians of the Galaxy when they're all holding hands, holding the crystal.
And then everyone erases away.
Or it's like My Little Pony.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
When they all find out that
They
they
all
got their
and
cutie
they all
marks.
get crystals.
Oh, I was thinking they all saw the rainbow, and the rainbow is why they all got their cutie marks, because they were all connected.
Well, they also got crystals. Remember?
Spoilers.
They got these little
Yeah,
crystals, and like to defeat the. You might not be that far ahead.
All right, so do you turn on? So as you like, it
When that's
blasts-
happening, I'm gonna be like, Belle, what did you do?
It worked!
Can it unwork?
and then you
Maybe.
you click it back, and then when you click it back, it just goes, and you start noticing as you turn on the lights back to the world, you start seeing above you guys like almost like a blizzard forming, like a storm that's just kind of starts to brew back up, and Niramour, you kind of realize that this is kind of like what your dad was talking about.
Are we outside?
Well, yes, in a way, because remember how I was trying to say, and maybe I didn't describe it enough, the kind of bunker, the lunch thing isn't like fully like, it isn't fully covered. Like you can still see outside. It still kind of has like this outdoors type thing, but it's
Like a pavilion.
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's just that like it's an old building, so like
And
a
the
lot
roof
of-
is off.
Yeah, so the roof is kind of like crumbled down. So there's still parts where that you can see.
I always thought we were just in the woods at long log tables. And we put up tents at night. Never knew we were in a building.
More description, right? Write this down. So you start seeing that, and you start seeing that storm come. You start initially feeling a strong, cold breeze come in, and everyone's just kind of like, you can kind of tell that everyone's kind of a little spooked. You know, you turn the lights off, and the next thing you know, a strong wind's going by, and then like the snow starts to come down, and everyone's just kind of sitting there like, they kind of seem very freaked out about it.
As soon as I see the storm, I would drop my crystal in my
I
bag.
was
I
gonna say
would
we
immediately
should
stop
put
holding
our
it.
crystals
Yeah.
away. We are causing a scene.
It's gonna go into my bag of holding.
Back into my bag.
Like, even though you guys put it back in your pockets, you can still see like the storm is brewing back. You know, it's still brewing up, and but it doesn't seem like it's going to get as nasty as you've seen some of the storms out in the distance. So it just kind of softens up into like a steady snowfall, and you see Leroux kind of bust in, and he's just kind of sitting there, and he's like, "Everybody all right?" Kind of looks around, and you kind of see everyone's just like, some people are kind of freaking out. What the heck was that? What's going on? And he's just like, he kind of shakes his head. He's kind of like telling people like, "Calm down. It's okay. Everything's covered. I got this covered." And
I'm doing my best to act natural.
he talks to a couple
Take it out.
people. You see that he starts talking to a couple people, and you know, people are kind of starts moving after he talks to that person just kind of seems like they expedite their movement, walking in some direction. Some are moving outward. Some are moving more into the crowd. What are you guys
I'm walking right up to him. I know what happened.
No.
And I look at Niramour. And I'm like, it started to snow. Then I wink at Niramour. My little light.
He looks at you and goes, I mean, yeah, it did start to snow.
And everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
It is strange.
Very strange.
You can blame it on the druid that can make things snow.
He's
High
just
quality perception?
Do what?
He said he's got high quality perception?
He goes, yeah. He just kind of has this look of like, what are you, like, he kind of has this look of like, why are you randomly walking up to me, you know, like, asking me, like, what's going, like, you know what's going on. I'm like,
Well, he seemed confused over.
yeah, he just kind of has this look at you like, what do you know?
I know it snowed, and people freaked out.
And he's like, yeah, just came out of nowhere.
I do not know.
Yeah.
It is natural for it to snow here.
Yeah, but stuff like that's a little odd. It's a clear day, then clouds show up out of nowhere.
Isn't that how they usually show up?
Out of nowhere? Just operating out of the sky?
I do not know weather. I just know it snows.
Are we within earshot?
Yeah, I mean we're all we're all in the area.
I'm gonna come up and be like, I'm sorry, they're just trying to like protect me. I got a little out of hand with my magic druid powers.
And he kind of looks at you and he goes, having problems keeping it stable?
No, not keeping it stable. I just got kind of mad and wanted to prove a point, and because I feel like I'm not the toughest out of all of them.
I'm
and I
gonna
just
come up
wanted
and
to
be like,
prove
it
them
was
wrong.
my fault. I told her my magic was stronger than
God
her magic,
fucking
and then there was a magic storm.
Yeah, so
So you guys are just creating things out of nowhere while we're around people, like not out in the open, away from everybody, where you could
you know
not
how
hurt
us,
anybody.
how us magic users get though. We're so competitive.
Yeah, around people that could get hurt.
It was just snow. Well, you gonna get a little cold, a little frostbite? I have a spell for that too.
He just looks at you guys and he just goes, well, next time you guys want to have a dick measuring contest, make sure you guys do it out there when no one
And
can
as
get
we
hurt.
see, mine is
Did-
obviously bigger now.
Did he really say that? Because I'm about to pull out. I pull it out. I win.
he has this look of just like, oh.
Is it old now?
I don't know. It's
It's like,
I would think because it's cold.
I would assume
It's in your bag of holding. Doesn't that have like no?
it's got no oxygen, so I'm assuming that it's becoming petrified.
You like his hard?
No, Chelsea, no.
It's
Just like,
it's becoming jerky.
oh. Yikes.
That's gross.
I mean, isn't that what a dehydrator does when you have like meat, put it on there and dehydrate?
I would think that it would just be like stored, like you put meat in the freezer.
Stasis.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's no really. It's not going to deteriorate.
So anyway.
Anyway,
Sorry,
so
we're
there's really
talking about
hoping
rotten
to keep
dick.
his dick
Let's
fresh.
hear it.
What was that? Oh, you weren't saying anything. Okay. So he just kind of has this like look of, ugh, and he's just like, he's like, all right, whatever. Make sure it's out there, and he walks away. And you see some people who are close by kind of like have like a bowl of food, and they're just kind of like, I'm good. I'm good.
Wow,
I put it,
what a dick.
I put it back in my bag.
Karen and Chelsea had the same laugh. They both went, ah, 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 ah.
As we're all regrouping at the table, I'm gonna be like, so did you guys feel that too?
The power of friendship.
Kind of.
That's
If that's what you want to call it.
I don't say
I didn't. I don't know. I didn't feel much when I was just holding the crystal, but when Soter gave all of you all yours, I don't know. It just felt like a more powerful connection.
You were glowing. Your eyes were.
What?
Your eyes were glowing, and you had mist wings. It's kind of scary.
But beautiful.
And
Question:
cool.
What's everyone's passive perception?
11.
Mine is 17.
11.
Mine
How
is
is your
Mine is
17?
17.
No, mine is 17.
Oh, I was like, mine is 17. That's terrible.
My-
You're proficient in perception. Gotcha.
My wisdom
I
is
have-
18.
A really cool idea that I hope I get to use at some point.
Alright, so
14,
Mine
I
is
think.
17.
It's 10. Is it 10 plus your?
10 plus your wisdom,
Yeah.
and then whatever your
This is wrong one.
if you're proficient in it plus proficiency. But didn't you take the alert feat?
No.
I swear I thought you took the alert feat.
Nah,
Let's
We
hit
talked
13.
about it.
I know. I feel like people always take the alert feat and all that stuff. So I'm like, I have a +5 to
Then
my.
it's,
so bored.
it's 15. Oh.
All right. So,
No. Wisdom?
Are you proficient in wisdom?
Yeah. No, just in perception. It's 14. Sorry.
All right. So, Cuilorea
Hell yeah, bitch.
and Soter, you to add a little bit more information to that whole conversation. You guys kind of noticed that same kind of snap that you guys felt when you guys were all connected. You felt that same connection with LaRoe.
Whoa.
What do you mean that same connection? Like we had
Like
like
we
her
felt
brother?
each other
As if
It's like a,
And him.
I don't want to be feeling him.
no, you felt the connection as if
Like he has the same magic.
Don't do that.
like he
That
had
same
one
thing.
in his hand.
the penises are touching. So, you felt that same connection as if the
As it was.
same thing that he had, or the same thing that you guys had, he had as well.
Had where now? Here?
The crystal.
You know,
So when we were like holding Kumbaya on with the crystals, becoming the Avengers, we also, me and Soter, felt that little like on if we have our brain map and LaRoe is here,
like there were 6 of us.
we knew he was there.
So when you guys had that magical moment, you guys felt each other. Now, after that whole moment has ended and kind of died off, LaRoe came in. And when he came in and you guys were talking to him, you guys felt this little like zapping moment where it was like, hold up, wait a minute.
Does Soter feel it?
Yes.
So-
Is it like a familiarity to the like magical sense that you had about his armor in the tent?
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know what to do with this information.
Wait, but wouldn't he have felt the because he carries them?
But they're in my bag of holding.
So the
Oh
thing
my god, this
so the-
makes my
That's
things
another-
makes
so
so
the
much
thing
more
about
sense.
it is
How would he have gotten those crystals when we gave the crystals to the queen?
They're
He's
not,
on the queen's
those
side.
aren't my ones.
so the thing about it
Did we
is
go to the queen?
you gave it to either Montezelli or
It's pretty
Is
sure
it-
it says we
was
gave
that
crystals
person-
to queen.
That's what I thought.
somebody. It was
Right?
either one of the three people. All right. So the thing about it is that where was I going with this? Yes. I really am brain farting. Okay, so the reason why you guys had this connection is because you guys started to what's the word I'm looking for when you connect to a magical item?
Oh.
Attune?
Attune.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very
You
good.
guys started to attune to it. He has already, he's probably already attuned
Attuned.
to his stuff.
Yes.
So when you guys had that connection, you guys were like, oh snap, we're attuning to this. He's already been there. So when you guys were like, I'm attuned, he's attuned, we're all attuned.
But it's almost like we're all attuned to the same thing.
Yes.
But does that mean he felt it too?
That's what I was gonna ask, but then I was like, we wouldn't know that. Unless he told us, there's no way for us to know.
He came in, he looked at us like we were
I
crazy.
can read his mind to try to figure it out, but the information hasn't been shared with the class, so I don't know if y'all are telling us this.
Yes, I'm definitely.
Yeah. He probably would have said something, and I probably would have been like, oh, I
Yeah.
felt that too.
When he
type thing.
left, did you feel that? Did you see that? And then
Yeah.
proceeding to give the information. he
Fucking
just gave.
facts. I did.
Fucking facts, bro.
So, I wonder
Can
if
confirm he's not crazy.
It's
that feeling is why you had a connection to his armor.
that has to be. It is so similar.
Can
Chills.
I don't know if I have any spells left, so I don't know if we've had a rest. I've used
Yeah, you've
attack
had a
bonus
rest.
a lot.
No.
Okay.
You've had a rest.
Can I roll to connect the idea that Cuilorea had to the timeline of him becoming in charge, if that aligns with when we had handed over the crystals? Or if there was like some sort of semblance with him being able to come into power?
He.
No, the king was killed a long time ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been longer,
the
right?
king, Yeah, the king was killed a while back, so
That's why we had to
it
take him.
isn't connected.
He would have had to have had
Already have.
Yeah.
these for quite some time.
Now, I know a lot has just happened,
Yeah.
but you guys still have those papers, and those papers still have a little bit more information. All right. So, you learned that the I'm gonna make sure everyone gets their pencils because I'm dumping info. You learned that all these crystals were magic that was imbued by the gods. Basically, it was the gods' parting gift to man to say, we are leaving this place, we have caused a lot of chaos, and because magic was very chaotic at the beginning of the time, they took all the magic that, that was chaos in the world, they put it inside these crystals, and this is where crystals were. This is kind of where Arcana and divination kind of began, with the holding of the crystals and how people were able to manifest magic. Pause. What?
So these papers are saying that magic originated from these crystals.
On Earth.
No.
From Zinlara.
No, yeah, I think it's just saying that, like, the magic here was just so chaotic and, like, out there that the gods helped the people by putting them in these little crystals and then gave them to them to help them control them more.
So these are like, they control the chaos of magic.
Your catalyst?
I can't think of the words.
So
Catalyst is a good word.
they are, I guess in a way you could say, they are the sponge and yet they are the activator.
The
So,
catalyst.
Yes.
Catalyst can
So
be-
in a way, magic is balanced because of these crystals, but magic is also imbalanced because of these crystals. If the magic, like, if you keep, and this is kind of what it says, if you keep the the crystals kind of where they're at and you don't use them, all they're doing is absorbing all the excess magic and making sure it doesn't break the world.
I have two
That's
questions.
why when we were in the storm, my magic was more chaotic. That's why I rolled wild magic more. Because that wasn't contained.
Mhm. Mhm.
Two questions.
Yes.
Can I grind up the snow and snort it to make myself more powerful? Or could I implant it into my head like a little Uzi Vert?
You can certainly try.
Okay.
What
You're
happens
not
if you
gonna
just eat it?
That one.
Alright, so
It's like a big.
Put it in like a salt grinder, and I'm just gonna grind it
Yeah.
down like pink Himalayan and just like
Yay.
sprinkle it on my food.
We become gods ourselves.
Somebody do that,
The
please.
gods imbued their power to this, and we take it from them.
But we only
We become
have,
evil.
Tastes
Evil
like
can't
ambrosia.
all we have are the amplifiers. What about the other crystals? Is there anything else? I'm sorry.
Alright, so 3 tribes are the forest, ice, and sea. The forest tribe is your night stalkers.
Wait, forest,
Too
ice, and
fast.
sea. You said mountainous tribe.
So yeah,
Is
Ice tribe is the mountain tribe. So you have the sea tribe, the mountain or ice, and then you have your forest tribe. Those tribes were called. Forest tribe was called the Night Stalkers. The ice/mountain stones. The ice/mountainous tribe was the Arctic Bone Warriors.
Holy shit.
Wait. What was the forest?
Night Stalkers.
Okay.
And then your sea tribe was your Children of Thunder.
Zeus and Poseidon.
So
Listen, everything that has to do with the sea is so cool.
the
So
ancient
where it comes
tribes,
from,
these
it's
are
always
just
the best one.
orc tribes,
The mermaid?
No,
or the
these-
world.
These ancient tribes were tribes that were very these were the starter tribes that kind of really were connected to the crystals.
I think so are the tribes, do they represent every do they represent everybody? Is everyone a part of one of these tribes, or is this just a certain group that
These tribes were kind of like, I guess you would say, like the natives of Vieski.
So everyone
VS.
that lives
Yes,
is like
they were the native,
descendants.
Do what?
So everyone that's like alive now is like descendants of those tribes.
Most people.
Would I know
They're
anything
colonizers.
about this?
On
Yeah.
this
Because my people are
continent?
kind of old.
On this continent?
They are old, but
Because we live up to like 300 or something years old. Hold up, let me look at my book.
roll a history check.
Oh, it's my one.
I'm
So,
definitely
I'm
trying
sorry, just clarifying. Are these the tribes that contained the magic, or was that the gods? Or are the gods in the tribes?
The gods contained the magic. It was their magic that they were like, we're gonna seal them up into the crystals, and they gave it to
these tribes.
these tribes.
And the
So,
tribes.
do what?
And then the tribes like distributed it between
The tribes, yes.
Yeah, we live up to 500
Would
years.
I?
So, we got some old ass bitches in our
Never mind.
clans.
I wouldn't. It wasn't me. It was them. Never mind.
Well, I'm asking because I want to know, like, would she be represented by the forest tribe? Would she be represented by the sea tribe or descendants or
I'm not
whatever?
So
What are you
what
asking?
are you asking?
That
I'm from a shot.
well, it's two parts because there's a reason I'm asking. Like, is she a descendant of? Are we all descendants from these tribes?
I'm not from VSE,
Yeah.
so if they were
Yeah.
only...
Yeah.
I came from
Okay.
a shot.
So it's all okay. Because then I'm like, where the fuck are the Warforged?
But we live up to 500 years. 500 years.
I might be from
Roll
the
a
forest
history
tribe
check for
based on like where my dad was from or something, right?
me. Maybe.
Or my mom, because my mom was from here too.
Dirty
Be part of the
22.
Two tribes.
Sober now.
That you wanted
Um,
to be dirty?
Huh?
You wanted to be dirty?
How can what be dirty?
You said dirty 22.
Not
I said
nat
that could only
20,
be dirty.
Yes.
There's no.
Oh, it's
Natural
natural.
22.
It's natural.
Alright.
I
So,
got these dice. Gotta check them out.
What's it like to roll 22?
alright. So to explain more, God, I am info dumping. So to explain more,
For me.
and this is something that is also kind of in the writing, for Cuilorea,
Yes.
your tribe did talk about these people.
Okay.
But when it came to these people, they all had a certain trait. And I'm going to apologize now for not describing this when it comes to a certain character, which I will now say. They had silverish, silverish lavender style eyes. It was a very distinct, dominant trait that no one else has. Who has that trait is Leroux. Leroux has these silver eyes.
So she would have been new from the beginning.
I would have known that, wouldn't I?
You probably yes.
Silverish
but,
eyes of what tribe was this?
The ice.
Just all of them.
All of
These
them. This is
people.
a.
Of these three tribes.
This is Valeria.
He's
Game of
old.
Thrones.
I didn't even freaking watch Game of Thrones, but whatever, I guess.
Wait,
Yeah.
so the original people in these
Oh, The
tribes
Witcher.
all had the
She
silverish
had purple
lavender
eyes.
eyes
Yeah,
from the original
Valeria.
yeah,
tribes?
like the very silver, grayish, purple.
The pure bloods.
Pure bloods.
it is kind of a dominant trait that pops out.
That's cool.
You do live for a long time, so you probably just
How old is Cuilorea?
knew.
She's
different
29
ways,
because
huh?
they mature at 30.
So like really,
So-
really young.
Yeah, she's on this journey to like,
Grow up.
yeah, to grow up kind of thing.
Gotta wise up.
I think I'm pretty sure she's 29.
All right.
Yeah.
As the Warforged, you would understand, and this is something that would also kind of tie into it. The Congrate nation, along with, so there was like three kingdoms, you would say. So you had the Kingdom of Depuris, the Kingdom of Congrate, and the 3 tribes of Old. It then goes out into an all-out war. You had the Congrate movement, who were very technologically advanced, but you had Depuris, who were more, I guess you would say Depuris' old history is they were very savage. Like, they took no mercy. They just were like, we're here to get ours. They, they wiped out, they helped wipe out, Congrate. And after they helped out with Congrate, they end up then destroying and assimilating the tribes of old. So basically they were like, you're coming with us, either you're with us or against us, they...
Were the tribes of old the icy
Yes.
forest? Or was it the Furbolgs?
All 3 of them.
No,
Was
that was
that-
all 3 of them.
Your vision?
Them trying to do technology and stuff like that over the border? I don't know.
No, your vision at the beginning was like where they like it was like good and then like destroyed.
Yeah, the one with the technological stuff beyond the border with the stuff like that. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Oh, cool. That's not cool.
That's the city of...
Would I have?
Fine.
If I knew this though, but I haven't put that together. My fucking dumb bitch.
Well, I think that was
brain.
the dream that flashed so fast. It was like darkness, cylinders, this,
And
this,
as we're
like you were
reading
trying
this-
to write, and you were like,
Oh,
I can't read that
yeah,
fast,
that makes
and
sense.
you was
As
like,
I'm reading this,
good.
it's bringing it all back
Yes.
together,
Yeah, you start having pictures in your head
and
where
I'm
you're like,
connecting shit.
yeah, you're
Yes.
like, that was the city of Congrate.
So,
It fell.
I'm sorry. Go
You
ahead.
know, you have like, that's the city of Congrate. Congrate fell.
Okay.
Congrate fell. And you kind of see this connection of the crystals. The crystals were abused, and that's what caused that whole nation to fall. And then you start seeing how the history, you start reading, Depuris took advantage of that. When Depuris took advantage of that and saw what happened, Depuris said, alright, cool, no more magic. So then they started wiping out the magic. And then they started enslaving the people and telling them, you're with us. And they started assimilating the people, the tribes of old.
So if Leroux is a part of the tribes of old, he obviously, because of his blue silverish eyes, he's less sus now to me because he's a part of the tribes of old who would want magic.
I think he wants to get rid of the nation that got
Yeah.
rid of the.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
people who basically said, we're going to get rid of the magic because that's your magic.
So he believes that like the queen is Depuris.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
he's like, yeah, anyone who
How
holds
is he
the
still
truth-
alive? If he's
He is a
from-
descendant.
Yeah.
So does anyone in the Furbolg train have like these color eyes or something like that?
No, because this is more like a human trait. Humans and humans.
Okay, so are the Warforged associated with the Congrate?
Yes. The Warforged were
And
the
that, I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Warforged were brain fart. The Warforged were the people they've kind of recruited and, to help out in that situation, to kind of like, it was the advancement, but it was also to help kind of like,
So the Congrate employed the Warforged.
Did they build the Warforged?
That's what I'm trying to figure
All right.
out.
So pause. I am.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. So let me try to get my information correct. All right. So Congrate technology advance.
Yeah.
Had the crystals.
Yeah.
Saw the power of the crystals.
Yeah.
Abused the power of crystals. Tried to shut it down. This is me clarifying everything. So if I said something and you guys probably write it down, let me clarify it and write this down. This is what's that. They abused the power. Because they abused the power, a lot of people tried to shut that down. All right, so that's where you have your arcane purge.
Okay.
All right, so this is me clarifying everything. You had the arcane purge. When you had the arcane purge, and you had a kingdom kind of imploding on itself, you had the kingdom of Epirus that took advantage of that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Where the Warforged come in is that they were used for that arcane purge. And that's what Epirus saw, and it's the reason why you guys have so much flack. Because they saw what you guys were made of. They saw what you did. Even though it wasn't like you had a choice, like you did, but you didn't.
So, the Congrite purged themselves?
The Congrate...
Probably an accident.
Well, no, they were responsible. They saw. I really want to know what this abuse was, abusing the power. So the Congrite policed themselves somewhat.
In a way, they saw. They were like, "This has great power," and you saw people taking that power and trying to abuse it.
Okay.
And because someone was trying to abuse that power, someone tried to come in and said, "No,
Yeah,
we're wiping it all out."
Yeah, these are
there
more.
was probably inner conflict amongst the Congreve because some wanted to abuse and some wanted for like, this is not okay, but then the Dupris took that advantage of their being weak and the ability to agree on something and took over and just took away.
So
Okay.
that's why when you guys are out here, if you know, it is kind of a wasteland.
Okay, so as I'm reading this paper that got handed to us, and you guys are also reading the other papers, I stand up, and I'm like, oh my god, like everything has just come together, and I'm like super shocked, and I tell you guys about the 3 kingdoms of old and everything else that we just heard, and then lastly I'm like, and Leroux, the guys, the ones who had the kingdom and the 3 kingdoms. They had this eye color, and Leroux has the same eye color. He has to be a descendant or part of the old kingdoms.
That's why he wants to bring them back.
And why he knows that weird language you guys don't know.
There's probably some books, I don't know, like in the Furbolg village that have that language, because my people get pretty old. So.
Do we stand with Leroux now? Because he is part of the... He is a descendant of the 3 tribes, and he wants to...
He's a good guy?
I do have a question. So you said this is more like a human thing, like with the mountain tribe, the sea, and the forest, because they all had like silver, purpley eyes, and that's a human thing. Where do the orcs and furbolgs come into this? Because I thought we were the original settlers, and then humans came over and kind of like killed the vibes.
As they do.
The kingdom of
I was going to say
Epirus.
that.
Do what?
As they do.
The kingdom of Epirus were the people who came over and killed the vibe. You have native humans who were there.
Okay.
Everybody was working in harmony. We're like, yo, we got these, you know, like.
So we're furbolgs and so these are like the human tribes, but furbolgs and orcs still lived amongst them.
Yeah, everyone kind of had their own land, and again, making a map for all that takes a lot of time. Everyone kind of had their own section of land. It was almost as if everything was kind of divided up. You had, like, in the middle, where the wasteland is...
America.
This is America. Where the wasteland was, you had divided up where the west was the mountainous tribes, kind of where the dwarves are.
Colorado.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the dwarves because they all got killed supposedly.
So you had the mountainous area where you had the Arctic Bone Warriors. They were intermingling with everybody. They were pretty cool. They protected the mountain. You had in the ridge, in the kind of middle part, you have the Night Stalkers, the Forest Tribe. You hear a lot about weird things going there. That's where those glowing head creatures were coming from. Some dark stuff is going on there. And then you have to the east, and this wasteland is kind of where the Children of Thunder were. They had their part of the land, but they kept close to the sea. They were always wanting to plan to go out elsewhere, just to travel the world.
We were Voyagers.
You what?
From Moana.
We were Voyagers.
Yeah. So those were the native tribes. The Furbolgs always had their land.
So the Furbolgs are the Canadians.
I mean, in a way, yeah, they're the western border.
Oh, western. I thought it was
like
northern.
Yeah, so they're west, and then you had right where they meet. So you have the Alkali region, and then you have right there the Arctic Bone Warriors, and then where in my hand, where you would see like a triangle in the middle, would be like where the dwarves were at the top inside the mountains. So that's kind of how it's all was built and made. So, as you guys are going through the notes, you see all this information, and then at the end, you kind of see Talon's put, if you have any further questions. And he writes this down, and you can tell that it's like in a very downward slope, very like sluggish way. Yeah, like he's falling asleep. Go to the Warforge. Go to the Forge. He says the they have information from the Congorite Library, and that's kind of like something you see, like maybe like an ink spill on the like edge of it. So that is pretty much what I think is all the information that he has had.
You got a lot of information out there.
Yeah, welcome to a brain dump.
Yeah,
The DM.
but it was good. We needed that to put pieces together. It was almost like we were wandering around in the dark without a clue, and now it's starting to make a
You
little
have a
sense.
flashlight.
Yeah.
So, based on that information, I feel like we should join them.
War is never good though.
I still feel that way. I kind of feel that way, but I also still feel like the Furbolgs rejected that idea, and then us having so many elders and being such an old clan, like, and having all that past knowledge, that there had to have been a reason that they were like, fuck that shit.
The information we received solidified Leroux's reasoning for this war, but we still have other sides to listen to, aspects of this fight that we have to find out. Where do we go to get the information?
He said the Warforge on the Abundance Things, and Talon was like, go to the Warforge for more information type thing.
And also,
Are we also
perhaps...
still waiting to hear from your dad, or like the people we sent?
Yeah.
Wouldn't today, because we went to sleep, because Talon went to sleep after Robbie gave him stuff. Wouldn't today be the day that he's...
And today he wants an answer from us. Also. Do we answer?
First we have to figure out if they sent someone for the fake out, and then based on if someone came or not, then we can make a decision.
So, as you guys come to this part of realizing that you guys need further information from what are we going to do when it comes to Amina's father, what's going on with the orc clan. We are going to take a break right here, be back in about 10 minutes, and resume for the rest of it, okay? Alright. And we're back. So, on the last part, there was a lot of information that was dumped for the players, dealing with the history and the gods and the magic that's going on, the crystals. There was a lot of information that they had to go through. But to bring it back, you guys were discussing about what should you guys do next when it comes to everything, and realized that there were a couple decisions that you guys had to make, but there was also some information that you guys were lacking that you guys were waiting on. So you guys are kind of sitting there questioning everything and going, all right, so what do we do next?
What don't we know at this point?
We don't know the motive of Laurel. We don't know the gods that he's associated with, and the orcs' place in all this, and why the four wolves aren't joining.
So a lot.
First thing we need to do is go see if the orcs sent a person.
All right.
Yeah. For facts. But don't we only have a day until we can give our decision to Laura?
Yeah, so
Looks like we're not. Can we rest until tonight? Because it seems like we might have an overnight.
Well, we already rested, so you already have all your spells and stuff.
Well, if we don't sleep if we have to stay up all night in order to get stuff taken care of, then we'll wake up or we'll just have exhaustion.
When did we say we were supposed to be meeting?
Midnight, I think.
I thought it was midday.
To what? What's going on?
We're just seeing what time we're supposed to meet the workout.
BRB ladies. Do Pyrrhus
Just in case.
Much farther back than that. What?
Kingdom of Depyrus. Depyrus took
Pierce what?
Took.
What?
Lokage something and pushed them to the mountains. I think I found another piece of puzzle. Hold up. My notes are everywhere.
I must say, you always say Lokage, like Hokage.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
know.
I love it, but I also want to be like Lokage. But like,
I've been convinced that it's Lokage now.
Dark
Because
cloud
I've-
coming toward us, but it's right.
the Hokage from
We're protecting and his sons. He's a little younger than me.
Lokage. Unless you're from Brooklyn.
Leader of Lukaga, believed from needed to grow and expand their land. Duprus took Lukaga from don't know what that word is, Autumn. Fucking dyslexic. And pushed them to the mountains. King Killer is new king. King Killer is Lukaga blood. He is an outsider. Where was the king? This says Duprus took the Lukaga and pushed them towards the mountains. Dupyrus.
Pierce did push the Lokaga. They kind of, so in that information, before all of this went down, people were kind of mingling together. But when Pierce decided that we want this area, this is ours, we've already destroyed all that, we've laid waste to that, these things are no longer our problem, and neither are you guys. And they just kind of pushed people out.
Okay.
They took in the tribes of old and says, you're human, we're going to assimilate with you guys and push everybody out.
So what race were the Dupyrs?
The Pierce were they are human.
Okay.
They just weren't like the ancient
Yes.
the old tribes.
Yes.
So that's what's going on. You kind of have, in a way, to describe this, you have the Anglo-Saxons versus the Vikings. the Anglo-Saxons were like, oh, look at these savages. We must destroy them and assimilate with our people because, our women think that they're superior, so we must destroy their men and take their women. Like that. It was what kind of, that's what happened in that situation.
White man shit. Got it.
Yeah, that's where I get my inspiration. So I hope that better clarifies what's going on and what you guys have read. When it comes to the gods, the Viking gods, or not Viking gods, the gods of old are basically Norse mythology. That is their pantheon.
Was there one specifically that he thought Leroux might be attached to?
Not one in specifically. Based off the information that you gave him, he has kind of interpreted it as more of not a god, but the pantheon of gods. Give me strength. Because each god has some type of domain over something. So he's like, gods give me strength to take over my enemies. And that's the clarification of it.
Okay. What's the one of strength?
You gotta say it, Thor, because I don't really have my book.
That's right. Well, that'll be the placeholder. That's fine.
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that can I infer that that's probably the one that he's associating with right now?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
So are we resting, waiting for the courier to show up or the warrior to show up?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
I couldn't find it. I don't have it in my notes. I don't even have that I sent anything off, to be honest.
You want to just say it was supposed to be
Evening?
and we rest.
I thought it was dusk.
That is.
It was midday.
Autumn thought it was midnight.
Alright,
So somewhere between midday and midnight. That's what it was supposed to be.
So you guys are.
I think we said when the moon is high. I think because in the note we were like, when the moon is high, go to this location, so on and so forth.
Which moon?
Heck.
They're not gonna show up. They're gonna be like, which moon?
What if I still need
We
to?
probably would have.
Did we say when both moons are high? I have no idea what we said.
Well, that would be very specific, though.
We didn't say. We definitely didn't.
I wish I had a calendar.
Let's just make it whatever so we can.
Alright, so this whole info dump was you guys kind of going through scripts, having epiphanies over several hours.
Yeah.
So what went from breakfast to like lunch, and then you guys are still kind of going through it, and then like it then is like getting into the evening, and the sun is setting. Like you guys spend hours at this, and it's kind of almost like you guys are sitting here passing notes, and everything else is just fast forwarding around you guys to kind of give a clearer picture.
Because we was reading a book.
Yeah. So who wrote the letter?
I don't know.
No
I
one
thought
knows.
you did.
All right. So
I gave it to the hawk. I think I wrote down what the people wanted me to write down.
Boy, you about to lose some dice.
all right. So
The perfect dice one.
so you get a hawk back, and
We get a hawk back.
yeah. So the hawk, another hawk, kind of comes back.
A different one?
Yes.
An additional hawk.
That comes to you and basically has the letter and says, we agree to these terms there should be someone out there when nightfall happens.
Oh heck.
So when sun.
Wait, what did we write down in the letter?
In the letter it was like, "Good evening, young chaps. Would you mind we were like, the plan is set into motion.
No.
This and that. Meet at the location where we met Talon at, the cabin down there. When the moon is high, I believe.
It doesn't like your strongest
And
warrior.
send your strongest warrior so we could kidnap him and get information out of him."
But what did we tell them that they were there for?
We just we were trying to figure out if your dad volunteered his body or if they captured him. And
I know that what we were
But
trying to figure out, but I want to know
you
what
guys said-
they think.
They think that they're sending their strongest warrior
To
help, but to all. I think the way you guys described it was to
Prove yourself.
to prove that they're worthy for Groomish.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy might be coming. I kind of say this up. So we gotta remember this guy might be coming looking for a fight. So I think we need to be ready to just like not kill, but just beat up and tire someone down.
In hindsight, we shouldn't have asked for the strongest warrior.
Oh God!
That's fine with us.
Cool.
I mean, we can-
we were literally the ones making the request, and
So,
we made it harder on ourselves.
we we called for a warrior, and he's gonna come, and we're gonna fight him.
I don't think
No,
we
we're
are.
just capturing him
Yeah, I don't think we are. I
to
think-
get information out. Or we can be actors and pretend like,
That's a disaster waiting to happen.
Groomish, we're on his side.
So,
We need your help, so we understand on the down low what's
I
happening
propose
back on
that
camp.
instead we go set up a trap at the location since they're not going to be there till nightfall. We
This
set up
seems
something where
messed
we can
up.
Catch them since we're trying to get information out of them.
That we call for a guy, and we're gonna jump him.
I mean, they jumped their dad and they gave him food.
When did we claim to be heroes?
This is Amina's dad.
We're just murderers at this
vibe?
point.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna follow you guys.
Amina, what's the vibe? This is your plan.
I mean, we.
I'm
Amina,
very
what's
smart.
the
You really
vibe?
think she made her make a plan?
That's why she asked for the strongest warrior.
Again, she's not very smart. She's like, send somebody strong.
I mean, we can set up the scene where it's just Amina, and we can give her our powers, buffs, use the stones, and just make it seem like she is actually someone possessed by Groomish and attempt to talk to the person. But if they want to fight to prove that she is like this powerful thing, she can do that with our.
But that's not what we're
help.
looking for. We're looking to figure out whether or not they are betraying LaRoe. Like if they
Well, I was
knew.
gonna say, he might not give that information up without determining that, oh God, you are for real. So you might need to like prove that.
We
with
can't.
it.
Okay.
We can't talk to.
We
go ahead.
kidnap my dad. We take him at midnight, and we were like, we're his bodyguards or something like that. And we're like,
We can't be honest.
I don't know.
Can
You
we?
just asked why we were lying so much, girl.
I'm sorry.
You just asked why we were kidnapping someone.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
Okay, we should. I don't know what kind of trap we would set, but I think that when we get there, we should surround on all sides, but be hiding.
If Ami can rest up.
I had
So-
no idea that
So
we
could do
were.
just a traditional hole in the ground, cover it up. He falls in. We're like, hey, how's it in the pit?
We did that.
Answer our
before.
questions.
I think we go
He's
with that.
strong.
We've done
that's
that and it
smart.
didn't work, Tara. We gotta learn from our mistakes.
I mean,
It was a werewolf.
it was a werewolf. High perception.
Yeah. We
This
can-
guy is an orc.
Amina, what's
We
your
don't have our
perception?
digger though.
That's right.
Or who knows?
But do not have physical strength to aid in this.
I mean, we have a druid.
Don't you have
You
move?
can do
Earth?
move earth.
I wish
yeah.
we knew exactly what the letter
Yeah,
said.
that's what I'm trying to find right now. Because I have to. If I do that, I have to rest up. What do you mean move Earth? I can erupt Earth.
That's
That's what I meant.
Yeah, but it's not like moving Earth. I can like take a block of Earth and put it
Move
somewhere
Earth. Move Earth might be a stronger spell.
else. Yeah.
That's when you're like, I'm building trenches.
I mean, if I'm holding the crystal, I could probably dig one fast.
No.
Why are we
no.
talking about moving?
They want a hole in the ground.
Why are we doing this Roadrunner style? Cartoons, bro.
Well, I mean, I said my plan, which was kind of like that, but it was just.
If I draw a
So we
hole
have-
in the ground on a piece
put
of
him in a
paper with my
hole,
magic paintball,
ambush
will there
him,
be a hole in the
be
ground?
No, not
honest.
ambush. Not
Oh
ambush.
no! If we're ambushing him, I just thought he
If
was
I use
coming
my
and we were
magic
going to talk
paintball
to
draw a
him.
hole in the ground, will there be a hole in the ground?
That is straight cartoonish, isn't it? But
Or just pour your ink out and just.
Yeah, it'll just be like.
But that'd probably be the rest of your ink. Is it worth it?
I kind of like that idea.
Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Sure, everything's fine.
You sure?
Alright, so we just
I
look up
can
one.
like create vines or something and hold him down with the vines if we
Possibility.
plant growth.
He could just strap
Do you
his
have
feet in.
entangle?
Oh my gosh, he could
Huh?
walk
Do
up,
you have entangle?
and then
I
I could
also
walk
have
up,
that. That's not
and
what
we'd
I
be
was
like,
thinking of.
"Hello, we have some questions," and then you just pop out and trap his feet with the vines
What?
in his arms, so he's just standing there.
Huh, an entanglement.
Grasping vine. You conjure a vine that sprouts from the ground in an unoccupied space of your choice you see within range. When cast a spell, a direct vine lashes out with the creature 300. Creature must succeed a dexterity saving throw or be pulled 20 feet directly towards the vine. To this one end, you can direct the vine to lash out on the same creature and earn in the bonus action interest.
I need that. I need like
I think there's an actual spell called Entangle, and I think it just grows vines and holds you in place. You should probably also have Thorn Whip somewhere.
Yeah, it makes it harder to walk through and all that.
Oh yeah, it's right here. Grasping vines cover on the ground, 20-foot area, and start from the point of the it should make difficult terrain.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh wait, a creature must cast or succeed a strength saving throw or be restrained. But
He's
he's
gonna
gonna
pass
he's,
that.
Yeah, he'll succeed that.
alright.
let's do something.
Unless you cast it with the extra crystal. That would have it, right?
Yeah, I can do
Mm.
that.
Mm.
I could do that. Or
Or
I
if we
could
give
just-
you all of our crystals. Everyone gives you crystal, and then you're just like holding crystals. And you're like,
explodes.
I
Suddenly,
become
Jack and the
the
Giant Beanstalk.
I could also just cast whole person.
oh yeah.
You can also do that.
We're like, what can we use? Vines.
Chains, whips.
I
Oh,
got it feathered.
Oh, my.
We have some questions.
Let's,
Okay,
Quit
let's
stimulate
do
his
something
nipple.
though.
His nipple.
yeah.
Oh, this is going down a different path.
oh.
That'll make him talk.
Dora the Explorer is off track.
Okay. So we have a general idea of we're gonna do something.
If you can do whole person, then that'd be cool.
You can both do whole person. Okay. So we're gonna go, and we're going to.
I think,
Everyone's gonna hide in a tree or behind a tree or something.
I'm just going invisible.
That's fine.
I can do that too.
So, where are you guys going? To clarify.
The spot where we're supposed to meet is in the woods.
It was in that place where we talked with Talon.
Yeah.
Okay, to clarify with that, out here has kind of been flatland. Like, just straight plains. So,
No tree.
I was made to believe we were in a forest.
I don't understand. I feel like I've said it has been flat. You know,
We're playing D&D. There has to be trees.
there are trees.
When I went to disguise myself, I walked away to the forest, and I came back a different person.
And then whenever they went to transform again, she went to transform out
I
of
just
being
went
a
behind a
dog.
tree. I was like, okay, I'm here now.
She
Alright.
hopped in the
But that's not
telephone
my
booth like Clark Kent.
Put on glasses.
Alright,
Who's Niramour?
so I feel like I've been trying to clarify that it is flatland out here. If you, like, yes, far back you can see trees, but you guys are kind of in, like, open, flatland style area.
How the hell they hide? What the hell?
And with what's going on with that town, it is again flatland, but there are buildings or old, structures that still held up from there.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Alright.
Okay. Oh, the TikTok audio. It's just this little kid going, what the hell? Don't say that. He goes, what the hell?
So, are we all on the same page?
No, but it's okay. Okay. There's forests. Long way away. Can't touch them. Like a backdrop. We're in a flatland. There's a lot of snow on the ground. We're going to go to this building that's also on a flat land with a lot of snow on the ground. No trees.
Yeah, old
All right,
buildings.
so we're going to hide
In one of the
somewhere
buildings.
around the building area. And the people that are going to be on the front seeing him coming are going to be invisible. So that way they can be invisible,
Right,
but
well,
also
Past the procession of 17, baby.
that way you guys can see the guy coming. And then
Who's
if
out meeting
Niramour
them?
can read minds, maybe can read Soter or Cuilaurea's mind to see when they're coming.
You can read Soter's mind. There's too much stuff in my brain you don't want to know.
I mean, I can just message you and be like, tell me when they're coming, and you can reply.
Cool. So we'll know. And then once they're in there, we'll hold person and we'll ask them our questions. What's our questions?
About your dad. Your questions about your dad were like, are you working with Leroux, first of all? Or did you send Groomish as like a inside weapon, like a Trojan horse? Isn't that a brand, a common brand, Trojan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are like Trojan warriors.
That's so smart, Trojan horse, because they got inside the walls, protected. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I'm dead. I'm just dead.
Anyway.
I just keep picturing Taylor Suicide coming up going, what the hell?
Okay. We got our plan. Wait, so are you gonna ask him? Are you gonna be the forefront and ask?
10:13.
I can remember.
We better ask. I
Asking
am
what time it
leaving
was in game.
in about 30 to 40 minutes. So let's get it.
I cannot.
We can just start a fight when you're about to leave and then you'd stay. So.
No,
Or,
not this time.
Or
And that's evaporated.
we can do all that next week.
Yeah, I'd
So
call
I
it.
can actually give you guys prepared, a board that actually has buildings on it. Looks pretty in a way.
Make sure it's on flat land, though.
So what are we doing
That's
for the
pretty
rest of this?
flat.
Are we just
So-
ending early?
Do what?
I said, what are we doing this session? Are we just ending early?
I mean, I guess we could, but I was going to make sure that everyone's ducks are in a row. Everyone's written down what you guys are going to do. So when we come back next session, it's like, so, all right, and we're starting. What's going on? You guys actually know what you guys are doing.
We clearly don't.
No, we know what we're doing. Me and you. Okay,
We're
go down
invisible in
there.
the front.
Me and you.
Have them
invisible.
show
Without
up.
a trace.
Have them show up. We're not prepared.
Huh?
Bring
Time
us.
out.
Without a trace.
Time out. The reason why I'm saying is this stuff written down because 2 weeks is a long time.
She's got a memory of an elephant. She can do it.
She's got a what?
Memory of an elephant. Still try it. Right there.
It's one or the other. Either we do it or he shows up and we're like, oh shit, he's early.
Exactly. So y'all better prepare yourselves or today's are here. Alright, so just wanted to make sure everyone's ducks in a row about the information that was given about the scrolls. Is there any other information that you'd want to have clarified?
That's
Anything?
We can end the session with that. Just questions of like, what the fuck is going on?
What the hell?
Exactly.
Is that what the session's gonna be called? What the hell? Alright. So
I'm already gonna step up.
everybody's answers have been everyone's questions have been answered.
Everyone has Question.
Answer the
Alright.
question.
Everyone to ask questions.
All right, so short session today.
I have more questions.
But it seemed like a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot has happened. See you guys in a fortnight. Good night.